Hello everyone, my name is Aisyatul Nadila. Today I'm going to talk about the TOEFL ABT. My goal is to help you understand its structure and how to master it. TOEFL ABT listening. TOEFL ABT listening is one of the 4 sections of the TOEFL ABT test, specifically designed to measure your ability to understand spoken English, as it is used in college and universities. In an academic environment, you must be able to follow lecture and participate in campus conversation. This section tests your ability to grasp main ideas, important details, and the speaker's purpose or attitude. Next, 1. Section structure. Lectures, 3 recordings, 6 section per lecture. Conversation, 2 recordings, 5 questions per conversation. And then A. Unique feature of the test. 1. Hear it once. You will only hear the audio recordings on time. You are not allowed to replay them. 2. Not taking because you only hear it once. You are encouraged to take note on stretch paper provided at the test counter. 3. Accents. While mostly North American, you may hear other native speaker accents, such as British, Australian, or New Zealander. 5. Authentic speech. The recordings include natural fillers like or self-correction to reflect how people actually speak in real life. B. Core strategies. Focus the why. Don't just listen to what is being said. Try to understand why the professor is giving a specific example. Listen for signal words. Pay attention to transition words like however and contrast, for instance, or therefore. This usually leads to a questions. Note the structure. Try to map out the lecture in your notes. Topic, top topic, sub-point A, example, sub-point B. Practice active listening. Listen to academic podcasts or TED talks without subtitles to train your ears for long-form English speech. Number 2. Gist content and gist purpose. 1. Gist content. This question asks what the lecture or conversation is about. They focus on the subject matter. Component, mostly lecture but occasionally in conversation. Typical phrasing. What is professor mainly discussing? Strategy. Listen for the main idea usually mentioned in the first 13 seconds. However, be careful, sometimes a professor starts with a review of previous class before introduction the actual new topic. 2. Gist purpose. This question asks why the speaker are having the conversation. They focus on the objective or goal. Component, conversation, student professor or student staff. Typical phrasing. Why does the student go to see the professor? Strategy, focus on the student's initial problem or request. Note that the student might start with small talk, but the real purpose is the specific problem they need help with. Next. A. Key difference at glitch. Feature, gist content, gist purpose. and focus the subject, the what, and just purpose, the motivation, the why. Future primary location, just content lectures, just purpose conversation. Future example answer, just content the history of the printing press. Just purpose to ask for an attention on a paper. And next, B. Tips for success. Don't get distracted by details. A just answer must cover the whole recording. If an answer choice mentions a specific example that was only discussed for 3 seconds, it is likely a details distractor, not the case. The handshake rule. In the conversation, the purpose is often revealed right after the initial greetings. Listen for phrases like I was wondering if or I'm here because. Topic shift. In the lecture, if the professor says, last week we talked about X, what today I want to focus on W. The W is your gist content. Next, 3. Detailed questions. Detailed questions are the most common questions type in the availability listening section. They require you to identify specific information, facts, or data mentioned by the speaker. Unlike just questions, which look the big picture, detailed questions focus on the small pieces of the lecture or conversation. One characteristic of detailed questions: explicit information. The answer is always directly stated in the audio. You do not need to infer or quiz. Frequency. You will usually see 2 to 3 detailed questions per passage. And next, appraising. According to Professor Wood, is one reason that, and then, what does the speaker say about a specific topic? And 3. According to the conversation, what did stated miss the deadline? Next, C. What to listen for the strangers. You cannot write down everything. You must listen for cues that a detail is about to be mentioned. A. Example and illustration. When a professor say, for example, extends or chosen point, the details following the phrases are highly likely to be questions. B. List and questions. If a speaker say, there are 3 reasons why this happened, or first, second, finally, make sure to number your notes. Not sometimes the use a multiple selection format where you must choose the correct answer out of 4. Next, D. What to listen for the strangers. See comparisons and constructs. Listen for words like, unlike, on the other hand, or similar to. You might be asked to identify a specific difference between two things. The definition and terminology. When a professor introduces a technical term and then explains in its simple language, then explanation is a detail. Next, E. Tips for answering. Take your note. If you took good notes, the answer to a detailed question should be right there. Eliminate clearly wrong answers first. Often, 2 of the four choices are obviously incorrect. Don't really don't rely on science knowledge, even if you are an expert on the topic. Only choose the answer based on what speakers say. Number 4, organization questions. One organization question asks about the relationship between different parts of a lecture or why a professor mentioned a specific piece of information. 2. Frequency, usually one per lecture. 3. Typical phrasing, how does the professor organize the information about X? And next, a common organizational patterns. Common organizational patterns, professors usually follow a logical lecture. Recognizing these patterns in your notes is the key to answering correctly. A. Comparison and contrast. The professor discussed two things, e.g., two species of bird, and highlights their similarities and differences. Keywords: similarity and contrast, unlike but varies. B. Cause and effect. The lecture explains why something happened or the result of a specific event. Keywords: because a result consequentially leads to strangers. C. Sequential chronological order. The professor explained a process step by step or a historical timeline. Keyword: first, then, after that, finally, currently, historically. D. Classification or definition. The professor takes a broad topic and breaks it down into categories or subtypes. Keyword: categories, type, classification, characterized by. Next, B. The why questions, rhetorical purpose, a subset or organization. A subset of organization question asks why a specific detail was included. Usually, a detail is used to illustrate a point, to provide the real-world example of a theory, clarify a concept, to make a difficult idea easier to understand, correct a misconception, to show why a common belief is wrong, introduce a new topic, to transition from one idea to the next. Example question: why the why, why does the professor mention the invention of the steam engine? Correct answer: to provide an example of technology that changed social structures. And C. Identifying the answer. When looking at the choices, ask yourself, did the professor talk about the order of things? Sequence. And then, did the professor talk about two things at once? Comparison. And third, did the professor list different kinds of one things? Classification. Command trap. Choosing an answer that is a detail, true according to the lecture, but doesn't explain the organization or the reason why the information was shared. Next, 5. Connection and content questions. This question asks you organize information based on the lecture's logic. You might need to 1. Categorize items into groups. 2. Identify steps in a process sequencing. 3. Determine if a statement is true or false based on the lecture. Typical phrasing. Indicate whether each of the following is a characteristic of topic A or topic B. What is likely outcome of the process described in the lecture? Place the following event in the correct chronological order. And next, A. What to listen for the logicious. To answer this, you must listen for comparison, contrast, and process word. 1 for tables, 2 for sequence, 3 for cause or effect. And next, B. Note-taking strategy. Note-taking strategy, your note must be visual to success here. Don't just write sentences. 1. Use a T-chart. If the professor compares two things, draw a line down the middle of your paper. Put topic A on the left and topic B on the right. 2. Use numbers for process. Write 1, 2, 3 vertically. 3. Use symbols. Use plus or minus for advantage or disadvantages, or check marks for sharp traits. And next, C. Tips for success. Tip for success: don't skip the both category and table. Sometimes a characteristic applies to both topics. Listen carefully for shared features. 2. Watch for not mentions in yes or no or true false. Table 1 row might be a detail that sounds scientific but was never discussed. 3. Look for the big picture. Result for sequence questions. The last step is often a summary of the entire process mentioned at the very end of the lecture. Next, 6. Inference questions. This question tests your ability to understand a speaker's meaning when it is implied rather than stated. Frequency. Usually 1 per conversation or lecture. 2. Typical phrasing. What does professor imply about X? What can be inferred for the professor discussion of W? What will the student probably do next? What will the student probably do next? What is the professor's opinion of the new theory? Next, a key characteristic. To identify a correct inference, remember these 2 rules. 1. Must be logically supported. The answer must be a necessary conclusion based on the facts given. 2. Not state directly if an answer choice is a word for word repetition of a sentence in the audio, it is likely a detail trap, not an inference. 3. No giant leaps. Do not use your own outside knowledge of imagination. The inference must be a small step from the audio, not a huge assumption. Be common inference scenarios. A. The probably will do. Next step. B. The implicit criticisms. C. The comparative inference. Next. C. How to avoid the inference traps. The TOEFL does use specific wrong answer type to confuse you. The two both trap an answer that use extreme words like always, never, impossible, or perfect. Real academic inferences usually more moderate. Each might be difficult or is generally privileged to the outside info. Trap an answer that is a true fact in the real world, but was not mentioned to or supported by the audio recording. 3. The opposite. Inference an answer that incorrectly flips the relationship AG if the speaker implies A is better than B. The traps say B is better than A. Okay, thank you for watching video.